because they want all together. And
yes. Dan is here, Vincent is here, I'm here, leaving only Wadi who's here.
And I think we spent nearly an hour inside there. And Atas Bureau, the site number 2 of the High Commissioner, has been very, very helpful, supportive, and very attentive to everything that we have said. Our concerns and all of us spoke. Vincent spoke, the chair. We spoke. We informed, and as such, we are very, very concerned that the Malaysian government will not be able to manage it. In Australia, Lynas have received a license. Lynas have received a license to build a refinery plant in Australia, but Lynas choose not to use the license because the license will ask Lynas to be very, very stringent with regards to the environmental compliance. The regulator in Australia is EPA, the Environmental Protection Authority, and they have to commit to 41 commitments in various areas, various aspects, from transportation to process to buffer zone to groundwater monitoring to waste management. Whereas in Malaysia, the regulators are AELB. They are only concerned about the radioactive level. They do not look into other aspects of the transportation, the monitoring of the waste, the public health, the processing, the environmental, the groundwater, whether there's spillage. In Australia, they will be doing it in every area. There will be a buffer zone of 30 kilometers. In Gebeng, 30-kilometer radius, there are 700,000 people living in that 30-kilometer radius around Gebeng. In Australia, the buffer zone will be 30 kilometers. Nobody can live in that area. So you see, we are very concerned that Lynas are using double standards. Lynas are not doing it in Australia because it's so difficult to comply. Lynas is taking advantage of the loopholes in our law. Lynas is taking advantage of the lacks in our environmental laws. So as such, we also have experts, Dr. Jaya, who has had experience in Bukit Merah. You can talk to him after this.
It's simple. Dia ni nak buat apa tu extract rare earth dari waste yang hantar dari Australia lah. Dia nak gunakan bahan ini untuk extract rare earth, And the issue is this rare earth is okay. They take it, but they leave behind waste which is highly dangerous because it is radioactive and it contains heavy metals which can last for a long, long time. We have legacy of Bukit Merah. You know what happened in Bukit Merah? We had 8 cases of leukemia, of which 7 have died. We had many miscarriages. We had many people experiencing health problems and cancers. So it's never-ending story in Bukit Merah. And you're talking about Bukit Merah, which used Mitsubishi. Mitsubishi has more experience than Lynas because they were already in the nuclear industry long, long ago. And if they cannot handle it, I don't think Lynas can handle it because it has no experience doing this sort of a thing.
Mr. Arthur Spiro has been gracious to actually listen to every detail of the 6 of us as presented, and he has promised to bring it back to the Australian government. And I think this is very good for us, and there's a lot of goodwill in the representation of the Australian government over here. The High Commission is a representation of the Australian people's friendship with our people. There's a Chinese saying, 錢唔見咗可以揾返. The money that you invested, you're a corporate entity. You're talking about profit and loss. You lose the money, you can always go back and find it somewhere else. But the lives of our children cannot be gambled. The future of all our future generations, though we may not see all of them, for millions of years, these are what we're going to leave behind for them. What we do now as parents is very important. And we have made this stand that we don't want them to be here. We want them to go back before 31st August. Don't just say you're going back. They got to pack early actually.
Bencana pada anak-anak, pada kaum lelaki, pada alam sekitar, pada dunia khasnya. Habis kalau semuanya rosak, di mana kami nak duduk? Apa kami nak makan? Apa anak-anak kami? Kerajaan nak bantu kan anak kami kalau sakit?
Kita dapat tahu bahawa di Bukit Merah dah terjadi perkara ni. Jadi bila datang ke Kuantan kita tolaklah. Jadi masa depan anak kita, cucu kita semua sekali dah masa 30 km tu tak terjamin.
Sebab kalau macam tu tak rugi ke duit Lynas yang dia invest beribu-ribu?
Oh, kita pentingkan manusia. Kita tak penting berjuta pun kita tak penting. Kita penting anak cucu kita. Kalau keluar dengan sebagai OPU, jadi kita dah ada bukti di Bukit Merah. Jadi yang dapatnya bukan kita yang dapat duit Lynas ni. Kadang-kadang kita
tak dapat duit Lynas tau. 12 years. Kerajaan Pahang tak dapat. Habis Lynas untung. 12 tahun untung saja.
Malaysia ni mempunyai undang-undang yang begitu banyak, tetapi penguatkuasaan yang lemah. In the other way, dia senang dibeli di dalam bentuk quotation is corruption punya penguatkuasaan. Sebab tu salah satu dia mengapa dia memilih Malaysia. Lynas kilang ni jaraknya lebih kurang 1 km sudah ada penempatan yang padat di Kuantan. Lebih kurang 60,000 ke 80,000 penduduk di situ. Jadi satu benda yang ridiculous untuk diterima untuk membina kilang di Gebeng. Dan kita kena faham banyak diputarbelikkan oleh media dan bentuk radiasi. It's two different thing. Radiasi yang dikeluarkan secara normal seperti cahaya matahari itu dan radiasi radioaktif adalah dua benda yang berbeza. Jangan mengelirukan rakyat dengan perkataan radiasi itu tadi. Satu benda yang ridiculous, risiko tinggi, tetapi Malaysia di bawah MITI memberi tax holiday selama 12 tahun. Bermakna rakyat tak dapat mendapat hasil apa-apa. Cuma yang mendapat ada Lynas, di mana Lynas adalah 100% Australian punya company.